A lot of discussion here. I don't know
جامعة
where
البطل
I'm
جاية
going to
منين؟
begin
جامعة
and
البطل العراقية
where I'm going to end.
نفس القاطب خاصة بالعراق سلطان
Socrates is quoted to have said, the more I read, the more I know how little I know. So in admiration of the scholarship of Socrates, who also had the humility to admit that he didn't know much. Because after reading so much, he discovered that there are a lot of things in the world that he doesn't know. And therefore, he still said, the more I read, the more I know, how little I know. So I think humility is the foundation of any scholarship. Any good scholar would know what he doesn't know. And probably I think I know at least part of the things that I don't know. Although not many, but some of the things at least I am aware of are the things that I don't know. And among them probably is English language. Because English language is, Mr. Unai has said a lot of things about the English language, the need for English and all that. So no doubt about that. But I also know that I don't know this language. I can't use it in the same pliable manner in which I can use my own mother tongue or my own languages. But in spite of that, I'm still trying to learn and trying to improve. So maybe that is the very basis of learning. In our department, we have always had a tradition of team spirit. That when I came here, I thought I had esteemed colleagues who were very good scholars. But in spite of being very good scholars, or rather I can say, rather because of being very good scholars, they didn't have any hitch in asking any doubt regarding whatever they felt about. Because they thought that if you don't know something, you should have the humility to ask someone who knows. So you should be curious to know what you don't know, and you should have the humility to ask to the right person concerned. And if you have the humility, then you will keep learning. That's why they say that man is a student throughout his life. So it has nothing to do with the age or anything, nothing to do with designation as such. It is something that has to be imbibed in oneself, and that I believe is the very basis of human relationship. So human relationships, there have been people who have talked about help from the second year students, the first year students, the colleagues helping each other. So most of the students keep helping each other until the exams, I suppose. So, well, during the exam, everybody has to be on one's own. And I know that I have good students in our department. So that would, in a way, solve the problem. There are a lot of things that I would like to say on this topic.
يقول أطلب من الطلاب أنه الواحد يساعد
When I
بس لحد
came here in
الامتحان
the English
يعني بالامتحان لازم
department, we
يكون
were
معتمد على
acquainted
نفسه
with
ويغش.
the tradition of English literature. And this tradition, they said, began with Chaucer, flowed with the Renaissance, and there were writers like Jonathan Swift, who wrote his Gulliver's Travels, which they say is an allegory. An allegory is a story where you say one thing and you actually mean something else. So that is what I learned in this department. So I also learned a lot of things about the manner in which you give your attendance, for instance. Like as an elderly teacher,
يقول
I
أنا
think
كانت
it is my
علمت هنا أنا قصة
job, or rather my
القصة
responsibility, to tell you something about the manner in which
حكي
you respond to the attendance
أنا أقول
call.
لك شلونك بس أنا صغير
Like there are some
إذا
students
فيها
who
حكي
they say, for
تفهمه
instance,
وهو إلى معنى
give the call, I say I call a number 122, and then he says, yes. So there are some who are assuming as if they are probably the superior officers responding to a subordinate. There are others who in a very, very meek manner say yes. There are others who in a very polite manner say yes, sir. But I have found that the number of students who respond in the proper manner is going down every day. And that's the reason why I am sort of telling you all this, that there is a very, very simple way of responding to the attendance call. And it shows your politeness. And if you are polite to someone, it doesn't show your weakness, it shows your strength. So if you are polite to someone, it means that you have the strength to acknowledge the strength of someone else. Like when I say that Sanjay Unale is a renowned journalist, hats off to him, then I have the strength to acknowledge whatever strength he had. And in spite of that, I know that I have my own strength. So that is the actually right approach of looking at things. And that's why I think we should rather improve simple matters. Like there are other things also, very simple matters. But we have to take note of all these things. Like when you enter the class, I have noted that many of them simply enter and walk in. Some of them say, may I come in, sir? And wait for the teacher's response. Now, if the teacher is going to respond to each and every request of coming in, he won't have time to teach. Because there comes occasions when many of the students are outside the class and they come in. So, don't, as a matter of fact, you can't expect the teacher to respond. But at the same time, you have to be very polite. And you have to ensure that you close the door properly. It doesn't make a loud noise. So these are very, very simple matters, but I think they are very important because they go a long way in preparation of the final outcome. So here you find you have a department which, as someone said, doesn't allow you to use Navneet. So you are required to read the original text. Now that is something that you must go to the source. So how can you offer comments on things that you have not read? So that is the basis of scholarship. That is the basic knowledge of scholarship, that you must have a first-hand knowledge of whatever you want to have. You can't depend on second-hand sources or not on what Plato would have called thrice removed or 4 times removed knowledge. You should have a first-hand knowledge, and that is something that you can have if you are preparing yourself very well. Mr. Unale himself has talked about the glorious traditions in this department. So therefore, I think he has done my job. I don't need to emphasize that aspect because those glorious traditions are really well known. But before I end, I would like to talk about a small matter which is very important in a very, very small way. The challenges of teaching English in the Indian context. Like you have in the Indian context, teaching of English, you can't do away with English, and at the same time we know we can't teach it properly. So we have a problem. We have a problem of teaching English, which we must acknowledge that we are not doing properly, and that's the reason why you find there are so many institutions mushrooming in the city, and all of these institutions are saying, if you are not able to learn English in 2 months, we give you a refund. And all these institutions, mind you, you have a lot of takers. Now that is so because teaching English in the present day classrooms is a challenge.
Hmm.
It's a challenge that you have to accept. It's a challenge to educate the socially handicapped persons, the persons coming from villages, and it's also a challenge to teach them the right kind of thing. Now, what is the right kind of approach is something that we have to define. Mr. Runare has talked about the Tarkatkar Bhashantar Mala. I myself was brought up on the same, and I learned English through translation. That's one of the reasons why I continue teaching translation even today. So maybe that is the right thing, or maybe nowadays they are saying communicative approach is the best. So maybe you use the communicative approach, but you must ensure that our learners learn English, because that is a very important social problem. So, thank you.